name their stores and restaurants certain things, even their kids, and not everybody gets it. So it's like people could spend their entire life thinking they're important because they have a certain name. They want me to say if they have a Y instead of an I. We'll just leave it. In fact, Becky's partner, my sister did this for a while. Her name is actually Cindy, but she spells it reverse of what you would think, like S-Y. Why? Because her name was probably Cynthia at birth. In fact, my sister's name was Cynthia at birth. And, everyone just called her Cindy. But in a way, if you put the Y behind the C instead of the I, and some people see Cynthia as a plant. There's many theories for that. But the British do natural. So we would maybe be on a British system. And Hyacinthia is a plant. So Hyacinthia and then Cynthia. And it's like, hello, Cynthia, we just birthed a Cynthia. Like, it would be in that realm, I guess. So we don't want to get into all kinds of interpretations of that term because some people play with the language game. And even the word high can be played with too much. So here we are at Jefferson University Hospital. Jeff is flashing over here. And they would do that on purpose. How do they do it on purpose? That's a great question. Electricity is floating around us all the time. And it could be harnessed in ways that you can't imagine. Someone doesn't even have to rig it through the circuit board or whatever. Someone could just cause the Jeff to blink. We see that the Jeff is a little bit separated. Like one side might be on a separate circuit and Jeff is on its own, and somehow it shorts to create a blink. Anyway, in a way, someone said electricity should be free at this point because it just exists and people can harness it and use it. Save that person, go to the left. There's nothing worse than getting your tires stuck in one of these tracks. And she has tiny tires, like skinny tires. So I've seen it all. I've seen people skid out. Over in the neighborhood, I was drinking coffee and someone skidded out. Luckily there weren't a lot of cars, but her tire got stuck in the track. You don't want that on a rush hour morning here in this neck of the woods. So let's see if we can make it to Market Street before the battery runs out. Anyway, but I was very seriously thinking of moving. In 2010, I was contemplating it. I rented a room at first before having moved because the person was so stupid in the house where I rented the room. So I was like, I'll save money, I'll rent a room, and then I'm ready to do nature. I want to go to the Pacific Northwest. Now that I'm older, and have experience, because I experienced this thing. I don't know if it would have been worse out west, but I would have been further away from family, per se. But Philly really did a ringer. You get it, rings? Sorry. Really did a ringer on me. So someone wondered if some people are used to expose criminal rings that could go very high up. You could have a surgeon who's part of a criminal ring. Depends on their mentality and how they handle business. And, but it's like, shouldn't people be paid for that? You just secretly use people to figure out who comes around and how much money should I get? Or the whole family, right? Cynthia's a plant for how many years? That's what someone wondered. But, literally and figuratively. Refresh your fandom. We have zero and regular. As I was leaving my building, they had Diet Coke. Somebody ordered Diet Coke. It was sitting there with a whole bunch of Prime bags, Amazon Prime bags and everything. We're hoping to get these big lights. My battery is on the fritz, so we have a whole bunch of things that we have to pay for all of a sudden. I needed shoes because the other ones were totally ripped to shreds. I should do a picture of those, put them on my community page. And now, these batteries last about a year, depending on usage. I use them up quite a bit. I had 2 batteries, a little over a year, they won't say. So, seems like each year I have to replenish batteries for this thing. We did round the clock for a while, so, and the summer kind of ruined the batteries because they swelled up and everything. Pigeons eating their food here. So this is the battery's down to 7, so we'll probably make it to the end of the block and then the battery will conk out. I took a little detour, so Walking Dead. So funny. Ready, set, forward, Walking Dead. That's all I have to say. Oh gosh. Well, some of us are Tesla, some of us are Ford. Namaste. We won't get into who winds up on the wrong track, So are we going to City Hall or no? So a lot of people might be born into Ford and they're totally Tesla. And it's like, I don't know how to survive. I'm like totally depressed and everything. That means you're a Tesla, which is totally awesome, by the way. It's not less than. And guess who has most money? The guy who owns Tesla. He's in the Forbes 500, so he does money also. Are we going straight or?